Okay, so I'm going to tell the story tonight of how I lost my car keys. I don't know if you've heard of geocaching, but it is essentially treasure hunting. So basically, you have an app. I would show you on my phone, but I'm using it to make this video. So you've got an app, and you can use coordinates to find an actual tangible container and then sign your name on a logbook, and it's just a lot of fun. So I was going geocaching. I had a few extra hours the other day, and I was going to go for a run in the woods and go geocaching. I did not feel very safe at the first park that I tried because it was super isolated, and I was just like, this isn't a good idea. So I came to the Arboretum here in Kansas City, and I was just like, this will be fun. I'm going to run around the Arboretum. There are four or five caches to find, so 4 or 5 containers in the park. And I'll just have a great time. And I did have a great time. I had the time of my life. You should see the pictures. So blissful. And as I was finishing up my last find, I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't have my car keys. And I have just covered 4+ miles in the woods, trekking on coordinates. So it's not even like, it's the way that it works is you're looking at your app, and it's not like, it's kind of like Pokemon Go, except it allows for a lot more socializing. So it's not like, it's like, I think we're supposed to go over there a little ways, and you're looking for a physical, tangible box rather than like a screenshot of a character. And so, needless to say, I was very disappointed because I had been off trail all over this arboretum looking for these things. And I didn't totally know where I was going. I mean, I scaled a cliff, I forged a river, I trumped through the woods, got tangled in briars. I mean, I crossed a lot of terrain that I wouldn't personally want to cross again just to do it. So, but on a hunt, I might. And I was just like, crap, the park is closing in like 30 or 40 minutes. Had to cancel my plans. Had to get a friend to come out and get me. My friend did pick me up, and then I had to wait on the Popalux guy to come and unlock my car so that I could grab like my computer and my wallet and some of my valuables. So I got all of those things, went home, super discouraged. The next day I woke up, I got another friend to take me all the way. And keep in mind, this arboretum is like on the whole other side of town. It's about 40 minutes away from where I live. So we go to the whole other side of town. He drops me off, and I'm just like, God willing, I'm going to find these keys. Like, I have the favor of the Lord. I'm going to find the keys. Not. So I spent all day retracing my steps to the best of my ability. Didn't find the keys. And I'm going to post, I made a snap, kind of like how I usually do my snap stories. I made a snap story of that, and I'll post it later. But didn't find the keys. Retraced all my steps, went to all of the places where the geocaches were, looked in the boxes, because I was thinking, surely I set the keys down somewhere as I was picking up the box. That makes sense. But no, and I have a tile on the key, but the tile was low on battery. It worked 3 days before all of this happened, so I was hopeful that it had enough battery to get through, but alas, I wasn't able to find it. So I'm stopping every so often to check the tile just to see if it beaconed off, because it can find it within 100 yards. So if you're within 100 yards of your tile, which is kind of like a little zoning device, and if you don't have one, get one for your keys, get one for your purse, and get one for your car. That would be my personal recommendation to you. They're about 20 bucks each. I think you can get 4 now for like 54 bucks on Amazon. So they're getting more and more affordable. But I had a tile on it, wouldn't work. Battery's dead. And so I finished the day, have to get a guy to come out and tow my car to the nearest Toyota dealership. Left the car, got to the Toyota dealership within 5 minutes of them closing. And they were like, okay, we aren't going to be able to give you a key today. You're going to have to call back tomorrow, which was today. So I was like, okay. And they were kind of like, just a heads up, we think it's going to cost at least $200 or $300 to get you a new key with buttons. And I would prefer a key with buttons just because it's safer. You know, oftentimes I'm leaving work in shady areas with my arms full of stuff, so I like having a button just to open the door real easy. But they're like, okay, $200 to $300, and it was going to be like $170 to get a key anyway. So I thought, oh, whatever, might as well get the key that I want. So I was like, okay, I'll call you tomorrow. So they call me to give me the quote, and they're like, sorry about this, but your key is actually going to cost $450. And normally this would be kind of a hit. I'd be like, oh man, that's a lot of money for me. That's $450 is not just like an oversight. It's not like going to McDonald's for me. So I'm just like, oh man, like I'm gonna have to do some major rearranging in my budget. And this comes after having replaced my alternator a few weeks ago, and I had to file an amendment on my taxes, which put me in a new tax bracket. And I just learned about a month ago that I owe a significant amount of money in taxes because I have been moved up a tax bracket. So I'm just like, there have been several like big unexpected expenses lately that I just wasn't prepared for. So I was very disappointed, to say the least, at this $450 for one key. I mean, I spent less on my alternator a couple weeks ago whenever I had to fix that. So I'm over here just like, God, how are you going to do it? Let me know how you plan to remedy this to help me out. And I called the locksmith, and he was like, sure, I can do it for, I think it was like $350 today, and somewhere around $300 if it's on like a Monday through Friday. And I was like, ooh, okay. Toyota gave me a rental car, and I was like, so if I decide not to get a key from you guys, what do I need to do to make this right with the rental car? Because they gave it to me. And the girl was like, oh, actually, you don't have to worry about that. Don't worry, it's on us. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're a godsend. And I explained to her, this $450 is super unexpected, and it's a lot of money, and I would really like to not have to pay it because it's the third thing in a series of big unexpected expenses. And she was like, oh, that's terrible. I feel for you. And she's just super cool. Well, rental car. So she's like, but if you do not make a purchase with us, I need you to have the rental car back by the end of Sunday. We close at 4 p.m. because I'm doing you a solid, by not charging for the rental car. I saw that. And she's like, and I just want to make sure that I dot my I's and cross my T's. And so I was like, gotcha. I'll have that rental car back. And I thought, well, just in case I'm at the mercy of all of my friends who are very busy, I want to make sure that I have groceries for the week, because I normally do that on Mondays. I do my cooking and my groceries and errands on Mondays. So instead of doing that tomorrow, I just decided, okay, I'm going to go get my groceries, and I'm going to go find a keychain, because when I get that new key, I need a keychain to put it on, not just because I like the idea of having a keychain, but because if I don't get a keychain, I'm going to lose this thing. And so I was like, I've got to get a keychain. I need it to be, and I had this idea in my mind because I saw I've had some of these keychains in the past, love them. The big furry, poofy ball keychains. And I had one a while back, and then I was using one that I got like 3 Christmases ago that I didn't really care for, but it was big enough, and I thought, until this one wears out, I'm just going to be responsible and use what I have in the house. Then I'll get another like big poofy furry one. And so I'm just like, easy. I'm going to go to Charming Charlie's, which is an accessory store, and go find this keychain. So I'm at Charming Charlie's. They don't have one. Go to Target. Go to Hobby Lobby. Go to Claire's. Go to the Icing. Go to Spencer's Gifts. Go to Hot Topic. Go to Macy's. JCPenney's. I mean, I went to like 15 stores. No one had a keychain. But I did find one in this one store. I'll show it to you. I got one that says, hey, I want to be your friend. And it has a little zipper thing in here, which is kind of cool. I'm not too fond of the ears, but I like the bigness. I like that it's furry, and I like that I can put stuff in it. Then I went to REI or Gander Mountain or somewhere. I actually went to 3 outdoor stores, Scheels, REI, and some other place. And I found one that says, I don't want to meet you, and I don't want to be your friend. So I got that guy. And I'm excited about these purchases, but I really wanted a keychain that was either hot pink and furry and round, or black, furry, and round. And I was just like, man, no one's selling them anymore. And I don't want to go online because I know if I get my key, I'm going to lose it if I don't have a ginormous, obnoxious keychain to put it on. So I got these keychains. Go to the gas station, fill the rental car up, and then I go back to the Toyota place. And the girl was so helpful and friendly, and I'm just like, thank you so much. She gave me a key. The key that they gave, so they had to move my car out of the garage, and she called me and she's like, I have great news for you. We actually had to make a key for you because we could not move your car out of the garage without one. So the key is only like $10 because it doesn't have all the fancy buttons. Before they were quoting me over $170 for a key, just a key. So she's like, it's just going to be $10. We had to make one anyway. And I was like, okay, I'll take it. So I have this super simple key to start my car. I'm unloading my groceries from the rental into my car in their like garage chute thing. And she's helping me out, and I'm telling her all about geocaching and how she's got to try it. And then I look over at the wall by the computer, and I see this black fuzzy keychain. And I was just like, excuse me, where did you get that thing? Because I've just gone to like 15 stores. I spent 4 hours today hunting for a keychain just like that. And she goes, you know what? We've had that thing lying around here for years, and no one has ever claimed it. And she's like, by the way, your key is attached to it, and you can have it. So I got my black furry keychain. I absolutely love it. This is exactly what I was looking for. I know it's not for everyone, but it is for me. And the whole reason I wanted to take time to tell this story, I walked out of there. This morning I thought I was going to have to pay $450 plus the expense of replacing all of my other keys, buying keychains, and I was out of a car. So I ended up paying $11 and getting a free keychain that is exactly what I want when no one else is selling them. And I want to just tie that in to the fact that God is faithful. He is faithful to meet our needs in the exact way that we not only need him to, but in the way that we hope he will. And I'm just touched by it. I am so touched because when I see this keychain and whenever I look at it, even though we all know it's silly, it's obviously first world problem, like, and no, I don't need a keychain just like this. But because he gave me one just like this and it was free, my heart has been encouraged, and I look at it and I think, okay, God, if you can give me this keychain, you can give me a husband. If you can give me this keychain, you can solve my financial woes. If you can get me this keychain, I know that I can trust you with my health and with the restoration of my family relationships and with the desires of my heart. No matter what twists and turns life may take, I know that you have my back. And that's the whole point of this video tonight, is just to share of how faithful God is in not just the areas that we need him to be faithful, but in the areas that we hope for him to be faithful that may even be so small we don't discuss it with him. So be encouraged. This whole time I have felt this peace, like God has me covered. I don't have to be afraid. I don't have to be frantic. And I'm going to be honest, this is one drop in a series of a few significantly stressful events that have happened just in the last few months. And it was kind of a straw that broke the camel's back of sorts for me. I've been doing a lot of work with the Lord spiritually as well, which has opened me and made me somewhat susceptible to just dealing with fear and, going in there and doing kind of a spiritual house cleaning. So it's been a difficult few months, but this kind of stuff, as small and little and insignificant as it may seem, means so much in building my hope and in encouraging me along the way, so that as I'm contending for the bigger things, I'm reminded God is in it. He knows the details. He is a specific God, and I can trust him, and you can too. So I hope that this testimony encourages you. I hope just to send a message to your heart that God cares for you and that he's going to be there. He knows the details, and he's in the details. So be encouraged. Talk to you later. This is my very first live video, by the way, so I'm not completely sure how to end it. Let's see if this does it. Do you want to stop streaming? Yes.